When you hear the word genius, what comes to mind? A mad scientist with wild hair and wacky goggles, maybe? Well, geniuses come in all personalities. In fact, one genius worked tirelessly in near total secrecy, leaving behind a legacy so profound it literally helped end a war and gave birth to the digital age. But if you ask most people, they've never even heard his name. I am a professional historian, and I've made it my job to find these unsung heroes of history and share their stories. And this is the story of Alan Turing. Why do you think he looks familiar? Well, this guy has been played by a few famous actors, including one very famous for playing another famous British character who likes solving mysteries. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, so I'll just say the following. At the end of World War II, Turing faced an injustice so grave it would have broken a lesser man. But instead of giving up, he did something truly brilliant, escaping into the world of mathematics where he developed ideas so revolutionary. They gave birth to the modern computer. That's a spoiler. But now I am going to tell you about a time before the computer, when Turing and his team of fellow codebreakers faced perhaps the greatest challenge in human history, trying to break the German Enigma code. During World War II, as the fight raged on, the Germans were able to communicate secretly thanks to a machine called Enigma. It could make millions of cipher changes every day, making it virtually unbreakable. Even a mathematician as brilliant as Alan Turing believed it might be impossible to crack, but that didn't stop him from trying. He put together a team of outsiders, people whose talents had no place in traditional math like a painter and a plumber. Using everything from differential equations to bicycle parts, they created the bomb machine, one of the earliest computers ever. It could test thousands of Enigma's possibilities at lightning speed, and suddenly the unbreakable Enigma code was just a memory. So how important was this? Well, first off, it shortened the war by 2 years, which means it saved countless lives. Plus, it laid the groundwork for the computers we use today. If not for Turing and his crew, the digital age may have been delayed for decades. And none of this was easy. They were breaking new mathematical ground while working with shoddy equipment, and often being criticized by their superiors. But through it all, Turing remained calm and focused, sometimes working for days without sleep. So it was such a great story to tell. Why haven't we heard of him? Well, there are two reasons. First, Turing insisted on secrecy. Even after the war, he kept the tales of his work under wraps. And second, well, the story doesn't end there. After the war, Turing returned to math and theoretical biology. He developed a model of human development and explored artificial intelligence, helping pioneer the field that would change the world forever. But as he reached the peak of his career, Turing was arrested for being gay. This was at a time when homosexuality was illegal in Britain and the punishment was brutal. But rather than given, Turing took his own life. In 1954, he died believing himself a failure, unaware that he had just completed the world's first computer program. His final project would go on to help launch Britain's first commercial computer. Today, he's considered the father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. And in 2009, he was pardoned by Queen Elizabeth, finally clearing his name. Now you might be thinking, why should I care about some long-dead mathematician? Well, because his story shows us that even the greatest minds face challenges. Plus, his work changed the world for the better. It led to breakthroughs in medicine, manufacturing, entertainment, communication. No matter your background or struggles, Turing shows us that one person can make a difference. If you're interested in learning more about these hidden heroes, I've got some great news for you. Now let's get back to our story. Did you know that cracking the Enigma code wasn't the only time Turing's genius saved the world? You see, during World War II, the Allies faced another serious threat, Nazi Germany. As Hitler's armies marched across Europe, the Allies needed a way to keep their troops safe. Enter Turing and his team of codebreakers. They developed a system for encrypting messages that only Allies could read, keeping secret plans out of enemy hands. But that wasn't all. Turing also helped design the world's first electronic computer. With it, the Allies could quickly decode enemy messages, giving them the upper hand in the war. These innovations not only helped win the war, but also laid the foundation for modern cryptography and computing. You're probably thinking, wow, this guy was a genius. But what made him tick? What was Turing's secret? Well, it turns out he was just a regular guy with some not so regular interests. He loved hiking, swimming, and dressing up as a lion. Wait, what? Yeah, it's true. He was also a bit of a prankster, once tricking his colleagues by hiding their staplers. Who knew a genius could be so goofy? But that just goes to show us that even geniuses are just people. People with strengths and quirks, passions and dreams, just like you and me. But Turing's story doesn't end there. After the war, he turned his attention to math and theoretical biology. He helped develop a model of human development and even explored artificial intelligence. Basically, he was curious about everything. And that brings us to the next. How did Turing's work change the world? Well, quite a bit, actually. His efforts to break the Enigma code helped shorten World War II by 2 years and save countless lives. His work in artificial intelligence laid the foundation for today's digital age, while his contributions to mathematics are still being explored. Basically, Turing's work changed the world for the better, and that's something worth celebrating. So the next time you hear someone say, "Oh, I could have invented that," remember Alan Turing and his team of code breakers. They showed us that even the most complex problems can be solved with a little creativity and a lot of hard work. But hey, if you're enjoying these historical tales, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of history lovers. And if you want to learn more about history's unsung heroes, look no further. I've got plenty more videos just like this one. Just click here and let the learning begin. And if you're still hungry for more, why not check out this video over here? It's on the big mystery of ancient Egypt. Click away.